Hey everyone, this is video 3 of the 5 paragraph order. The first one we covered orientation and kind of, the situation before the orientation. Then paragraph 1, situation, and then paragraph 2, mission. So now this one is going to cover paragraph 3, which is execution. And this is by far the most involved section, and people get kind of overwhelmed with this. But we're going to break it down. But before we do that, we're going to go back up here, because in the last video, you see all this gray stuff here? This was stuff that we could not fill out at the moment, because under friendly forces, higher unit's mission, well, our higher unit is a platoon, but the platoon's higher mission is the company commander. It is valuable to know, what they're up to, what these other units are up to, but you as a squad leader, this is your hire right here. So check this out. Since this is the company mission for the platoon commander, that's his hire. Well, now that you're the squad leader, your hire is actually the platoon commander. Where do you find their mission? It's actually right here. That's why I held off on this for a bit. So we can actually take this and just completely inject it here. So we don't have to repeat. I'm like 99% sure you don't have to do what I say again. Just put it right here. And we're going to change this to red. That's the color of the situation. So now, you as a squad leader, your hire's unit mission is 1st Platoon. We are the main effort. By 1500, destroy all enemy forces within our AO in order to clear the AO of all enemy forces and safely transport civilians to the assembly area. Do missions get repetitive? Absolutely. Now, remember I explained a little bit about tactical tasks? Destroy, clear. Don't feverishly write down what a mission is. As long as you write down like 1st Platoon, main effort, 1500, destroy, clear, safely transport. Like that's all you need to know. And then you can craft it because you've gone over this with me. Now, your adjacent units, this is something you do not have to feverishly write down, but we'll just go over it. So just as this is your hire, these are your adjacents, squad 2 and squad 3. So let's figure out what they're doing. So adjacent units. Nope, we're not adjacent with 2nd Platoon. We are adjacent with 2nd Squad. So we can make that red because we know that. But you actually don't know what they're doing. Like, we'll have to come back to that again. And then, not 3rd Platoon, 3rd Squad. The execution will make this all come together. So at this point, you don't really know what's up with the squads. So we can change those, but we should probably leave this the same. Now, this is gray for a reason. We'll get into that. So now we're getting into the execution. Now, remember, in the orientation, I said that you should be kneeling down at the train model while going over this. And this part here, there are certain parts of the execution that you will also want to kneel down. So just so I can keep the formatting the same, I'm going to just copy all of this, put it over here because the live video got, kind of annoying. And then, oh no, Arial 14 blue. We're not doing that. All right. 14, and that looks pretty simple. Okay, so now this is paragraph number 3. And I love when the formatting changes. It would be so nice if it could just copy. But it's very important to have it lined up like this, because I don't want you messing up your skeletons and stuff like that. Okay, so at OCS, your execution is split into commander's intent. No, at TBS, of course, this is going to get way more detail. But at OCS, it's just commander's intent. It doesn't have the subcategories. And then concept of operations has 2 paragraphs, scheme and maneuver, fire support plan. And then the 3rd sub of execution is tasks. And then the 4th is coordinating instructions. And ooh, I want to move this inward, make it more clear. All right, commander's intent. So let's look at this platoon order. Commander's intent: to clear the AO of all enemy forces and safely transport civilians to the assembly area. If you think this sounds familiar, a platoon commander is a company commander. Look at this, to clear the AO. Where did they get that? Right here. So platoon commanders hire, their commander is the company commander. So instead of repeating this whole thing, we're just going to snag the end. In order to clear the AO of all enemy forces and transport all civilians to the company assembly area. So that's pretty cool that we just get to stick the Y of the higher units mission here. Don't overthink it. So now the next part, concept of operations. This section right here, like tasks and scheme maneuver, this is super, super important. So concept of operation is kind of like, well, like, we had the 5 W's, but now we need the 8. How are we going to do this? So scheme and maneuver, there's this thing called like being anonymous and then being direct. And I'll explain the difference. So it is important to pay attention to all parts of the order. And, if someone is being direct, you're only going to listen to your part. That's how it was explained to me. But if it's anonymous, you're going to listen out to all the parts. So let's take it down here. Yeah, commander's intent is just the order to portion of the mission above. No need to repeat. Concept of operations, scheme maneuver. Yep, you're going to be down at the train model and explaining this. And trust me, this will be a lot more clear when I do my briefing video. I might have to get like an actor to do it for me. I really don't want to be on camera. I can just go like the local drama school. There's 6 parts. I promise I'll break these down a little bit. But one of the things you'll do the most at OCS is doing like tactical formations in the field, like over and over and over again. So number 1, your instructors there can explain it a lot better than I can. And then 2, you're gonna just go over it a ton of times. But here is the terrain model. So this is definitely where you're gonna have to like kneel down and stuff. And I'm gonna break this apart just so I can go over this. And trust me, this is the part that if you want to ask me questions, I will definitely schedule one time, go over it. So scheme and maneuver. Now, distribution of forces. At OCS, I don't think you need to know the terms distribution of forces, direction of attack, form of maneuver, tactical control measures, formation of movement, and consolidation, because I don't remember it's like an exam question. It's just not on your skeleton, but if you know these 6 things, then you'll be able to come up with your scheme and maneuver like that. So distribution of forces, main effort, supporting unit 1, supporting unit 2. And like I said in my last video, the main effort, kind of like main character, it's the most important unit to, accomplish the mission. And hint, hint, it's probably the attacking unit. but it's always main effort supporting unit 1, supporting unit 2. But you don't know if this is like first squad, second, third. This could be third, first, and yeah. But everyone's paying attention because no one knows who's the main effort. No one knows, you know, well, this should be supporting effort. Sorry. So SE1, SE2. And then direction of attack, like where are you attacking from? Now, this form of maneuver, you will only use a frontal attack at OCS. Frontal attack means if your enemy's here and you're coming from here, you are attacking them this way. A flanking attack, you won't be conducting a flanking attack, but your higher unit might be. But don't worry, like just do frontal. Frontal, imagine Revolutionary War style, like everyone's on a line, all that stuff. In a flanking, let's say you have like 3 squads, and one is going to go, or 1 or 2 are going to go this way, but another one's going to be like sneaky and go around here. That's flanking. But at OCS, we're doing a frontal. Tactical control measures. Okay, so important parts of the terrain model. Not only is it north, not only is it the boundaries, not only is it terrain and avenues of approach, there's other parts that are very important. And obviously, assembly area, that's just where people gather, and then objective, that's what you want to achieve in your mission. Now, let's explain what's happening in between. So the assembly area, usually where you do your brief, everyone gathers around, you're going to do your pre-combat checks, pre-combat inspections, and then, you have medical here, you have little tents here for sleeping. And then this is like safe territory. So when you leave from the assembly area to the attack position, you're in friendly territory. So you can choose speed over like firepower. Now the attack position, this is where you get into your position and you're still under cover. And remember from my first video, the difference between cover and concealment is that this is still safe, like, well, quote, relatively safe. This is good for like speed. So like when you learn your formations and stuff, like there's certain formations which are faster, some that are better with like firepower. Sometimes these remain the same, but this could just honestly be like everyone's in a column. Here you might like spread out into a wedge, and trust me, your instructors know more about this than me. The line of departure is the boundary between, quote, safety, as safe as a combat zone can get, and, enemy territory. So the line of departure, it kind of like changes the attack position into the assault position. When you're in the assault position, you are not safe. Like, firepower is good, like, and then you go to the objective. The way I remember assault versus attack, and at OCS, you'll probably come up with like super cheesy ways to remember it, is that you're more likely to get shot in the ass in the assault position than in the attack position. So that's how I remember it, is that this is still in like somewhat protected, and then this is, and then you make it to your objective. So I might actually have one of my infantry officer friends do a video where they explain this a lot better than I. So tactical control measures is just basically like, what position are you from here to here, then here to here, and then, this is like kind of blurred, and then here to here. And that kind of like rolls into formation of movement. So your tactical control measures are where your like key points on the map are, and then the formation of movement is like what formation you're traveling. And then consolidation, this is after your like objective is defeated. And I'll give you a hint, it's always 180, 360 at OCS. 180 means that, let's say you attack and the enemy runs off this way, you're gonna put all your Marines in like a circle here. So in case they're like, just kidding, we have a second wind, and they come charging back. Once the enemy's been gone for a while, or maybe they're completely destroyed, you and your Marines are going to consolidate into a 360 circle. You're just watching out. All right, now let's go back and let's actually craft this one. All right, so I can put this one back on here, and then I take that down. Okay. So the commander's intent, let me just reiterate that I had this right, because I was just talking for a while. Okay, so the squad leader's commander is the platoon, and then the platoon commander is here. Okay. Yep, to clear the AO of all enemy forces. It's the last part of the mission. Now, concept of operations, scheme, and maneuver. All right, so now that I have this exactly copied from here, I can pull the terrain model thing back up. So this is your platoon commander saying this. So he's going to say, our platoon will be broken down into one main effort and two supporting efforts. So that's distribution forces. Always say that. Then we will be conducting a flanking attack from the northwest at our assembly area to the objective. But here's the thing. We are a squad. So we're going to change this to squad. Our squad will be broken down into one main effort and two supporting efforts. Yep, that's the same. You don't even have to scribble this when you're getting your higher's order. It's going to be like this. We'll be conducting a flanking attack. No OCS. You will be doing frontal. Okay, frontal from the northwest here, and then southwest to the objective. Okay, you can keep it that. So that is your distribution of forces, direction of attack, and oh my gosh, why am I drawing this way? Form of maneuver. Okay, I just want to make sure I wasn't tripping up. All right, so now you want to have your tactical control measures with your formation of movement. So now, let me pull up that terrain model. Now you're going to be telling your Marines, how are you getting places? So from the assembly area, we will break into 3 squads. The main effort will continue southeast. So that's you, okay? Supporting effort 1 will continue directly south, and then supporting effort 2 will continue west. Now you might think that's like a flanking thing, but they have like slightly different missions, and it's not like they're coming around and then doing this. It's in general a frontal attack. So then once you have, okay, the main effort is going to continue southeast, whatever, you got that. Now, this is what makes this captain a quote good captain. Squad leaders determine your tactical control measures and formation movement. Now, why do they say they're good? Because it's kind of like decentralized command. Imagine a general comes into like your squad bay and is telling you like how to fold your stuff, how to do this, like how to do classes and stuff. Like, no, get out of here, okay? It really should be your immediate leadership giving you some sort of control. So the fact that this captain is telling you that you can come up with like your own like smaller level plan, that's good. And then also, I don't want you guys to get off easy with this. So we're going to be making our own one. But yeah, someone like super higher up here should not be telling people like down here what to do. Put faith in you, in your subordinates, whatever. Okay, so squad leaders determine your tactical control measures. But here's the thing. Let's backtrack. From the assembly area, we will break into 3 squads. Wrong. You are a squad. You're going to be breaking into 3 fire teams. Okay, main effort will continue southeast, but guess what? I did that to get those squads out of the way. I don't want them in our area. Since we are main effort, we're just going to, okay, main effort will continue southeast. No. You can say the main effort and supporting efforts 1 and 2 Because we're keeping it simple. It's OCS. Main effort and supporting efforts 1 and 2 will continue southeast. We're keeping us together, okay? Because we're doing a frontal attack. All right. Once again, squad leaders determine your tactical measures. All right. Well, sometimes people put their tactical control measures up here. Then other times you put them in coordinating instructions. We will say, and then formation of movement. You know, let's put them up here because going back to this, when you get on a Marine level, you're not telling your Marines, like, you might say that we're moving in a wedge, but you're not giving them like their own. You're just gonna say, like, this is us. And I'll explain if you guys want to write a order and send it to me. So then you as a squad leaders, instead of saying you'll determine your tactical control measures, let's tell the fire team leaders what we're doing. So you are down at the terrain model and you are explaining this while pointing. So you can say from the assembly area to the attack position, we will move in squad, column, fire team, column. Now, listen, I'll have one of my infantry officer friends explain more about this, but let me actually pull up so you can just see for a second. Stand by. Give me like 3 seconds. Trying to find the student handout at TBS. When I said stand by for 3 seconds, I actually meant like 10. Okay. I hesitate to show this because I don't want you guys, well, you can for sure read this, but don't get intimidated if it's something that like you don't know. So I'm just trying to keep this as simple as possible. Okay, cool. So squad column, like let's imagine this is like forward. You know, you have one fire team here, you have another one here, and then you have another one here. And this is usually the squad leader. And then wedge, it's one fire team's here, one's here, and that's the squad leader. Then you also have like your V online and like echelon. I would say the 3 you need to know for OCS are like a column, and then wedge, and then online. But there is, it's a little different for fire teams. Let's see. I probably should have had this up, but whatever. All right, well, I'm gonna move this back to my private screen and I'm gonna find fire team formations. If you're like completely lost, like don't worry. Someone else better than me can do this. Okay. Oh yeah, I actually found it. Awesome. Okay. So here. Now, please do not, this is just like a basic overview. Please listen to your tactics instructors. They're gonna know way more. You will literally practice this over and over and over and over again through the woods, okay? So just know that like, this is a column, you're kind of organized like this. So if you had, you know, your squad column, just imagine a fire team like this, here, and then one here, and then a wedge, it's like this, and then you have like online and stuff. But just know that like at OCS, you will learn that. And I could have my friends do a better job than I'm doing. But anyway, back to tactical control measures and formation movement. Okay, so beginning on from the assembly area to the attack position, we'll move in a squad column and fire team column. Because we're not shooting at anybody yet. So it doesn't matter if there's like a fire team all the way in the back. Then make it like a story. Assembly area, attack position. Then from the attack position to the line of departure. Let me actually type. I'll make this easy. We will continue in squad column fire team column. Perfectly acceptable to do that. You're looking for speed. And let's spell things correctly. It's just easy to manually fix it. All right. Now, okay, so now we're here. Now, there's really no like line of departure to assault position. I just like tried to make them separate so you can see them. Now, make it like a story. After crossing the line of departure, we will transition in the, I'm going to say transition to the assault position in, now we are in enemy territory, okay? We don't all want to just be in a column like that, okay? You can do squad on line, which means that the fire teams are next to each other, like kind of like horizontal, like fire team 1, 2, 3, but not everyone is online. So squad online, but then fire team wedge, because I'll pull this one back over here. This is kind of an example of like squad line. Yeah, you have your 3 squads like all next to each other, but you're still in the wedge, you know? Moving that over. Okay, squad line, fire team wedge. Now, the thing is, we gotta go to the objective. I like to say, upon reaching the objective and upon enemy contact, like very important, you know, now you want to be spread out. We will transition to squad online. So all the fire teams are in a row, and fire team online. All the Marines are in a line. And what does enemy contact mean? When they start to shoot at you. Okay, so now we have actually determined our tactical controller measures and formation of movement. Make it tell a story. And then you'll be kneeling down, explaining this, whatever. Now, once again, your platoon commander, he puts a lot of faith in you. Squad leaders, create your own consolidation plans, but have the final destination complete assembly area. So this is pretty easy. So upon enemy withdraw, I'll make withdraw capitalized because that was a term that you learned earlier. So first they're defending, you know, so when they're still defending, you're going to be online. But upon enemy withdrawal, we will consolidate into a 180 formation. We will consolidate. Okay, cool. I need to choose the right tense. 180 formation. What does that mean? Remember what I said? When you go to the objective and the enemy starts to run away, you want to do a little 360 formation. Or no, 180 formation in case they decide to counterattack. But this one, they're not going to counterattack. And then upon, we can say, I don't want to say like enemy destroying. We just say upon enemy. Now, we'll say once the enemy is determined to let me think. What was the terminology used? Once the enemy is, once the enemy has left the AO, we will consolidate into 360 formation. The reason why I got a little tripped up is because sometimes you just like destroy them outright and there's no withdrawal, and then sometimes there like is a withdrawal. We could probably even make it better. You can even say like, once there is no enemy counterattack. Yeah, let's go with that. See, this is why I'm gonna get one of my friends to go over this. Yeah, once there's no enemy counterattack, we will consolidate into a 360 formation. All right, so this is the consolidation plan. And then we can say after completion of mission, I'll make that capitalized, we will head back to the company assembly area. Because once you did that, you'll go back. Now, like I said, OCS, it's very simple. TBS, you're not just gonna just go away. You know, there's probably gonna be like some sort of offense, you know. But OCS, it's very, very simple. So thank you for sticking with me for this. All right. Here's another great part of concept of operations. Fire support plan, none. This is going to be none at OCS, so just keep it. Because remember when in the situation supporting units, you know, you're not going to have artillery or mortar. So don't worry. So fire support plan is going to be none. Now, the third part, do not get tripped up, but tasks. So in the higher order, these tasks, if this is a platoon commander, they're talking to the squad leader. Now, your first squad leader, you're speaking to the fire team. I promise you, if you don't pay attention to anything in the order besides this, you could probably create this like out of your head. Even this, it's very formulaic. But tasks, just as your platoon commander is giving missions to each of the squads, now you're giving missions to each of your fire teams. But I said the word mission. Look up here. You don't really have your mission. It's all gray. Guess where your own mission comes from? I said we were saving it for later, and now it's later. Look, first squad, you are the main effort. By 1300, destroy all enemy forces, locate at the objective in order. Yeah, that's you. So you can literally just take this and make it your mission. Now, hold up, look. First squad has to be finished by 1500. Give me a moment. I think I might have made a typo. Absolutely. Usually the mission is done at the same time. So just forget what I said. So, okay, mission, first squad, we are the main effort. What are we going to do? It's here. So we are the main effort. We've confirmed that right now. So let's change it to, okay, then by 1300. Oh, why? Oh, no, it's not a typo. Okay, so sorry about that. Okay, the company wants the mission done by 1500, but then you can put time limitations on your subordinate units because then, you know, first squad's done by 1300, they can get back to the assembly area. Okay, so that was not a typo. This is your platoon commander then giving you your mission. Okay, so by 1500, now your platoon commander gave you a time of 1300 because maybe he needs to verify that you actually achieved your mission. Okay, destroy all enemy forces within our AO. No, ours is for the objective because we're just a squad. We're much smaller. So destroy enemy forces with located. And I'll explain a little bit more about why that is. So when you have your terrain model here, you as first squad, your responsibility is not to destroy the enemy in the complete AO. No, you as a squad leader have said this is your objective. You're just to destroy them here. Like I said, you can take a lot from the higher order, but there's stuff that you will have to change. And your platoon commander, even though it's his responsibility to clear the whole AO, he's telling you it's just at that specific objective. So the missions get smaller and smaller and smaller. Now this, yeah, it's the platoon's mission to safely transport civilians back to the assembly area, but your platoon commander is just saying to clear the AO of all enemy forces. So, and I'll explain why. Okay, so cool. Now you've built your mission from the task section. Now, why are you only destroying stuff at the objective, not the whole AO? Well, because there's 2 other platoons out there and there's 2 other squads. So at least in this example, I sent 2nd squad to, let me pull up the train model. Oh, I don't want to move everything. Okay, there has to be a simpler way of doing this. Okay, so you have your train model here. So we're the main effort, we're destroying the enemies here, but your platoon commander is having 2nd squad kind of go down here, and then if any enemy tries to withdraw, they're gonna get them. And then this is protect, so they're gonna set up some sort of defense. You'll get into that at TBS, but the main reason why I did that is I just wanted to get them away so we can concentrate on, you know, our own mission. So that's why we just have to clear the objective. Yeah, and then once again, destroy enemy forces. Yeah, so we're not dealing with the civilians. Newsflash, that'll probably be the defense, or maybe even a different platoon. Of course, you say it again. So it's first squad, because now you, as the first squad leader, you're coming up with your own mission. Now, does that mean that you can just not listen to this? No, because look, this up here, this is still gray. How do you know what to put here? It comes from the other tasks. Okay, 2nd squad will be operating to I think they were going directly south. When we look at what we did in our scheme maneuver, so I'm not moving it off the top of my head. Okay, well, luckily you get to get that from here because you're not the squad leader. But if you put up here, 2nd squad will be operating, I think I'd had them like to the west of our objective. So not west of the AO, because that's other platoons. West of our objective. And then 3rd squad will be operating to the east of us. Now, I promise you, I believe at OCS, you could just say that your adjacent units are 2nd squad and 3rd squad. I really don't think you have to go into detail about what they're doing. At TBS, yes. So just know that it's really just important that adjacent units is second squad and third squad. And sorry for if I seem like a little bit unprepared. I just remember I changed this because something didn't really make sense last time. Operating 2. All right, so now those 2 sections that we had to complete later, we used the execution to fill those out. So just know this does not have to be very difficult. Commander's intent. Grab that from your hires why. Concept of operation. I will go over this with people, whoever wants to reach out. Just tell a story. None. This is very important, you know. Okay, so this is definitely a Steven Spielberg quality recording, which is why I have to insert this section because I didn't really explain it clearly. But yes, so after the scheme of maneuver and the fire support plan, you have your tasks. So just as a platoon commander gives tasks to their subordinates, like say you have your squad, you as a squad leader are going to have to give tasks to your subordinates. And if you remember this chart, this little drawing I did, so like once again, like platoon commander subordinate is squad leader, and then the squad leader's subordinate is the fire team. And the tasks, they're written as missions. So instead of first squad, we're going to have first fire team. And just to go over the squad's mission, one second. The squad's mission is to destroy the enemy forces, okay? So it makes sense that probably your fire teams are also going to be destroying the enemy. So first fire team, your main effort, and you can make any fire team first effort or supporting effort, but just make sure it's anonymous up here. So you're the main effort, then time base, destroy all enemy forces located at the objective in order to clear the AO of all enemy forces. Okay, that sounds pretty good for right now. I'll come back to it. So then you're gonna have second fire team. You are supporting effort 1 by 1300, destroy all enemy forces, withdrawing from no. That's a second squad task. We're here to destroy, like, we're the main effort, So we're gonna say destroy all enemy forces. Located at, we're keeping it simple. Located at the objective in order to clear the AO of all enemy forces. Makes sense. Okay. So then moving on, now we have third fire team. And once again, okay, supporting effort 2, but then look at this. Protect? No. That is a third squad. We're still destroying the enemy. So we're going to say destroy the enemy forces. Nope. Let me see if I can type. Located at the objective. Okay, so then get rid of this part, and then we're going to keep the same, in order to clear the AO of all enemy forces. But the thing is, so one thing I want to go over is that the platoon has their mission, but then they break it down into like different ways they're going to do it. They got a main effort that's for destroying the enemy, one that's destroying like enemy that's withdrawing, and then a little defense squad. So we're going to give our fire team like a little bit more detailed tasks. So we're going to pull up this cheesy drawing. Okay, so all of first squad is heading down here, and our objective is here. So we're going to spread them out. Because if you have squad online and fire team online, everyone's in a line. And you can't just have them shooting randomly. So main effort, we're going to say destroy all enemy forces located at the, we're going to say, center of the objective. And then second fire team, they'll be over here. Destroy all enemy forces located at the we'll give them the left of the objective. And then once again, third fire team, they'll be over here. And when I say left, right, it's like their left, their right. So you're supporting effort 2 by 1300. Destroy the enemy forces located at the right of the objective in order to clear the AO of all enemy forces. So now you've made your tasks a little bit more specific. I wrote them here for my notes in case I tripped up. All right, so the last part of, I love these formatting issues that I sometimes have. Okay, so let's do coordinate instructions, and then let's move that over here because it's its own paragraph and then the execution. And then, oh gosh darn, I don't like when stuff hangs over to the next page. So we're gonna, too far. Okay, we're gonna do it like this. Coordinating instructions is anything that doesn't fit anywhere else, you know? And at TBS, it's going to be more fleshed out. There's going to be a lot of coordinating instructions. But OCS, we're going to still keep it simple. Like, what time are you leaving the assembly area? And then, so, you know, platoon is going to say, you know, squad leaders, create your brief, but you as a squad leader, you know, you're going to say fire team leaders, you know, brief your fire teams. Tell them what's going on, you know? And then, look at this. The squad base unit will be first fire team. Create your brief, including base marine, all that stuff. So the platoon base unit was first squad. And then it is important for first fire team to know that the whole squad is going to be basing their movement off of them. And then, yeah, create your brief, including the base marine. So just as the platoon has a base squad and a squad has a base fire team, your fire team leaders need to know that there is a marine that everyone else is going to fall into formation behind. It's like that cheesy lead cheerleader example I gave earlier. And then since this isn't a, you know, nitpicky squad leader, they're going to, you know, oh no, just kidding. So the platoon commander gave the squad leader the tactical control measures, but fire team leaders, you know, since they're individual Marines, they're going to hear the tactical control measures from above. And then this fire team leaders conduct PCCs and PCIs with your Marines. So a PCC, pre-combat check, that is, oh, I did not want that window open. Let's export that. Okay, so pre-combat check, you basically want your Marines to know, like, why are we here? What are we doing? What's the end goal? Just all that, like reiterating, like, why are we here? PCI is the pre-combat inspection. Do you have your rifle? Do you have rounds? Do you have a magazine? Do you have your canteen? Are you wearing the right uniform? You know, stuff like that. And it's definitely not going to be done by like the platoon commander or even the squad leader. It's definitely a very small unit event. But yeah, that ends the execution. It could be totally normal if you have a bunch of stuff here. TBS, you'll have like immediate action drills. You'll have, you know, rehearsals or just, you know, a lost Marine plan, like different stuff. But OCS, just keep it to this. But anyway, that ends the execution and ends the hardest part of the order.